Hello, dear students. Welcome to ABC online school lessons on preparing for B2 exam. Today, we will talk about speaking part number 2. The structure of it is the following. Number 1. You are each given 2 photos on the same topic. You have to listen to the task, which is also printed on the same page with the photos. Number 2. The task has 2 parts. You are given only 1 minute to compare the photos and give your personal reaction to them. The focus is on organizing your ideas and expressing yourself clearly. And the last one, you also have to answer a question after your partner has spoken, so you need to look at his or her photos and listen to what he or she says, so that you can be prepared to. There are some strategies of how to pass successfully. Listen carefully to the instructions, which are also printed on the same page with the photos. If you don't understand the task, ask the interlocutor to explain it. Summarize the ways in which the photos are similar and different. Don't just describe them or go away from the topic. You may need to make guesses if the subject of the photos is not clear to you. Organize your time so that you have time for both parts, comparing and then giving a personal reaction. Don't stop talking until the minute is finished. The interlocutor will say, "Thank you," when your time has finished. Use paraphrases if necessary, but don't leave long pauses. Don't interrupt the other candidate when he or she is speaking. Listen carefully and look at his or her photos and then give a brief answer, around 30 seconds, when the interlocutor asks you about them. Now let's look at the task. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you 2 photographs. I'd like you to talk about your photographs on your own for about a minute and also to answer a short question about your partner's photographs. Here are your photographs. They show different types of homes. I'd like you to compare the photographs and say what life might be like in places like this. All right? To talk on such a topic, you might need some good related words and phrases. You can talk about size, style, cost, types of homes, and also features. For example, to talk about size, you can say that the flat or the house is small or cramped or medium-sized, and other words. To talk about style, you can use words traditional, old, modern, and any other. To talk about cost, you can use the words cheap or a bargain, or phrase "it is reasonably priced," and other words. What can be features when we talk about homes? It can have a garage, a garden, it can have central heating or a balcony or a lift. Types of homes can be a terraced house, a mansion, it can be a flat, a cottage, and many other. When comparing, you might also need some pros and cons. For example, pros of flats might be economical, cheap to heat, easy to clean, comfortable, cozy, and any other words. But to talk about cons, you may use that it is a lack of space, no garden, often no privacy, thin walls, noisy, and other words. Pros of houses are lots of storage space, pleasant surrounding, good investment, and houses may be roomy as well. But cons are, it is expensive to maintain, it is less secure, costly to heat, or difficult to clean. To organize your speaking, you might need some linking words and phrases. For example, to list advantages, you may use phrases "a good thing about," or "one advantage is," "one important thing is," "the best thing about," and then add your information. To add, there might be useful such words as moreover, in addition, furthermore, also, as well, and to at the end of the phrase. Then you may need to list disadvantages. You can use such words and phrases as a bad thing about, or one disadvantage is, the worst thing about, or it's a bit, or it's rather, and then any other adjective. To contrast ideas, you may use such words as but, however, or phrase on the other hand. And now let's get started. Well, to begin with, in the first picture there is a big detached house, I think, whereas in the second picture we can see a modern block of flats. The house seems to be large, certainly larger than the flat. Because the house seems to be in the country, perhaps on the outskirts, I imagine it would be very quiet and peaceful to live there. But you might feel a bit lonely at times as it is very isolated. As I said, the second picture represents a modern flat, so I'm sure it would have all the conveniences you need to make life comfortable. I reckon it is probably a lot closer to public transport and other facilities as well. So I believe people living in a flat like this have fewer problems than people living in a house. I think the house would be difficult to maintain actually, and you would have to treat it regularly too. I don't think you would have such problems with the flat. In my speaking, I used some linguists to organize my ideas, such as to begin with, whereas, because, and, as in the meaning of because, so, as well, and the word to at the end of my idea. I also used some related vocabulary such as a big detached house, modern block of flats, large, in the country or out on the outskirts to talk about the place, quiet, peaceful, a bit lonely, isolated to describe the house, conveniences, closer to public transport, facilities, fewer problems to talk about the flat, and also such phrases as difficult to maintain or treat it regularly. And now it is your turn. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you 2 photographs. I'd like you to talk about your photographs on your own for about a minute and also to answer a short question about your partner's photographs. Here are your photographs. They show different types of homes. I'd like you to compare the photographs and say what life might be like in places like this. All right? You have only 1 minute. Thank you. I hope you succeeded. Now think about the following. Did you compare the photos? Did you answer the question? Did you give reasons? Did you use good related vocabulary? Did you use linkers? If you answered yes to all the questions, congratulations, you did it. Good luck on your exam.